We are in third and long now. Shout out to Prime. I don't know if y'all saw it. He was out there tweeting back at us yesterday on the show.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was out there on our Speak page, on our Speak Instagram, showing us love. Shady, the Buffaloes are ranked. Prime and them are ranked.
Top 15?
No, they're not the top 15. Okay,
Oh,
relax. Relax.
Oh, so they don't believe.
They relax.
Okay, they don't believe. All right, cool.
They are ranked 22nd in the latest AP poll, which literally just came out hours ago. We have to update our expectations. Joy, you say this all the time. I've adopted it from you. I give you credit the first time. Afterwards, it's mine. Okay. Eventually, you got to update your model. You have to update how you think about something, someone, or some ideology. How have your expectations changed? What are your expectations now for Colorado?
You know what? I was a big believer already. Now James is a believer. You see that, how that works? Anyway, I think now that they've won a game on a big stage, on a away game, right, against TCU, was a good team, ranked 17th, right? Was in a national game last year, so shows you how good that team is. So now to get this win, it's like, oh, wow, maybe I can see this team winning 9 to 10 games. That's what I feel like right now. Yeah. Before it was, okay, they're going to compete, they're going to win some games, they're going to beat some teams that people didn't think they could, and they're going to see that Prime as a real coach, as a real thing he got going on. But now everybody believes it now. So I think that even myself, I've updated my information. And I think that now I can see this team, Colorado, going out there and winning 9 to 10 games this year.
That's good. That's good. Joy, where are you at now that you've updated? What are your expectations?
I mean, I think it has to be a bowl game for sure. It's a long season, and there's going to be some adversity. We know that all teams face it. But they look like they're built for it. They certainly have the talent. They have the coaching. And say what you want about TCU, which is the first thing people are going to do whenever something good happens. Like, well, TCU doesn't really look that good. Okay, Vegas is not like giving away money. They were 20-point favorites.
That's right. That's right.
So somebody thought that TCU was good, and they thought they were going to whoop up on Colorado, and they did not. So I don't really care about what you think about the opponent in this situation. They did win. And they went blow for blow with them. They looked well coached. They looked like they had the talent. They were prepared in the trenches. And they competed with a team that was ranked 17th and in the national championship game last year. So the expectations now have to be that they make a bowl game, and a significant one at that. Because it's not just that we've already seen it. It's been declared. Yeah, for better or for worse. James, I will say the best and worst thing that could happen to Colorado is that they beat TCU. Because now my expectation is very simple. You've shown me you can walk. Show me you can run. Now I've seen you walk. I've seen you walk. I've seen you walk versus TCU. Now you got to show me that you can run. Now the whole world believes. People didn't used to believe. Now everybody and their mama believe. You have the Nebraska, that's the opponent that Colorado was facing. Their head coach came out and said, they got to be ranked. They should be in the top 10. You got everybody now believing. You have shown me you can walk, Colorado. Shedeur Sanders, 510 passing yards. Travis Hunter, 119 receiving yards, and you play defensive back. Dylan Edwards, true freshman, 4 touchdowns. Deion Sanders, you came out there and you coached the game of your life. John Lewis, new offensive coordinator, former head coach at Kent State. You came out there and showed me you know exactly how to dial it up. Everybody showed me they could walk, James. Now it's time for them to open up their stride.
Yeah, and like Shady said, I'm a believer now. I believe. But my expectations are still right here, right? Because I'm going to believe even if Deion goes out here and loses a couple games. My belief is what I seen him do on Saturday, he is about to change this whole thing around, and he's about to take over. That is why I believe. But I'm still not going out here saying he's going to win 10 games and get to, like, it's going to be this. We know that's coming. It's going to be that. But whether he wins or loses some games, I am still going to believe from what I've seen, from his coaches, from his players, what he's building, he is going to get this thing changed around. So for me, my real expectations for him, 7-8 wins. I'm still right there, 7-8 wins. And if Deion can get to 7-8 wins from winning 1 game last year, losing by almost 30 points a game, that is a hell of a coaching job, and that is a heck of a turnaround by Deion Sanders and this Colorado football
As I look
team.
at the schedule, though, right, I think that's possible. I mean, by the way, I won me some money last weekend.
My dog.
There you go.
I put money,
you ain't gonna share none, huh?
Prime, we trust. I got my money. But anyway, so they got Nebraska, who they should win. Colorado State, they should win that game. Oregon. And that's going to be a super big test. That could go either way. I think that...
If you're going they should lose.
They should lose that one. Just because, and it's at Oregon, and Oregon's been pretty good and consistent. Then you got USC. They're going to beat USC. I'm telling you that right now.
Well,
they're going to beat USC.
September 30th.
Listen. Listen. Caleb Williams is a dog.
He is.
By far the best player in college football. I'm going to say that.
He is.
But you think Prime Time will have his son juiced up?
Well, what about Lincoln Riley?
They talking about him. They not talking about you. Yeah, all right. Prime was the best at getting the best out of you. You know that.
They got to stop.
Let's move on.
Move on.
Also, you know, USC on the other side of the ball.
Come on now. What's that little school they just played? The little baby school that put 28 points on?
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
I forgot you was there.
San Jose State.
Hey, you ain't got to remind the viewers. You don't got to remind the viewers.
Arizona State. They should beat Arizona State. Stanford. They should beat Arizona. They should beat Stanford. Who's that?
UCLA.
That's
UCLA will be
Kelly.
tough.
Oh, they gonna beat them. Oregon State. They should win that game. Arizona. Come on, man.
That's a lot of dubs. That's a lot of dubs now.
And then the last one is Utah. That's
That's
gonna be the
tough.
Other than that, I mean, come on now.
Here's my thing, though, and Shady, I want to ask you this question here shortly,
Ask
though,
your
is
boy.
how do you think they will manage success? Anecdotal story. 2010, I'm playing for Texas. We were unranked. We went to Nebraska. They were the number 5 team in the nation. We beat them, shocked the world. Next week, we go home at Iowa State. We go home playing Iowa State. We're now the 22nd ranked team in the nation, like Colorado. We lose at home to an unranked Iowa State. We beat Nebraska. We was feeling ourselves. Oh, we nice. We might go to the national championship again. And then we go back at home. I didn't play in that game, tore my MCL. We go back and we get smacked around. I had to say, ain't no blood on my hands. I ain't playing that game. Shady, how do you think they can manage the excitement?
You just cooked my ticket. Oh, you just jinxed it. I was ranked 22nd. Now, I gotta take my parlay now. Anyway, no, I would say this. I just think that Coach Prime has been there. I think he's gonna remind these kids to listen, man. Don't forget how bad they talked about y'all, reporters and all that. One thing that Sean McDermott did a great job of when I was with the Buffalo Bills, he kept receipts, right? And he not even culturally for that type of thing, but he did. And he would have all type of things. The player said this, player said that. They have the TV screen will be like, you walk in the building, it's like today's times, okay? Breakfast at 7 o'clock, meetings at 8, right? And then it'd be like a slideshow. And the next sheet would be, yo, the Patriots are saying this and that. Yo, the coach said this. So it keeps you aware of, you know what, don't forget. Yeah, you might have beat TCU, but don't forget the whole NFL, or not NFL, the whole college been counting you out, the coaches, players. So don't forget that. I think Prime will do a good job of keeping his boys still humble.
And that's a really good point. And not only that, I don't think we give Prime enough credit for the staff that he put together.
Yeah.
Right? I coach youth football. I'm like, look, we out here for 2 hours, but you got to do something at home. Right? So when Prime's in the team meeting and he's preaching a certain message, you think Zimmer ain't in the defensive meeting preaching that?
Yep.
You think Shermer ain't over there preaching that? Right? So I just think everybody around on that coaching staff that's around those players in Colorado, you ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we done been in Super Bowls. We done lost big time. You ain't did nothing. You won one game. You ranked. So I think they still know that they got so much to prove, and there's so many good people in that building that have done it at a high level. These kids is in really good hands.
Joy, you think more pressure on Prime now because now everybody is saying, oh, you are good? Before we were saying they're not good, everybody's going to wax them. Now we are saying they are good. For context at home, viewer, Nebraska was favored by 5 points before Colorado beat TCU. After Colorado beat TCU, Colorado is now favored by 2.5 points. So you're talking about an 8-point swing, roughly, based upon the odds makers. How do you think that impacts Prime, impacts the fan base, impacts your organization? Again, you were very close to college football.
I mean, I don't think it impacts Prime at all. He has decades of experience around this game. He's seen failures and successes, and he's had his own within coaching. So I don't think it's going to affect him at all. He knows what expectations are. It's Prime. His name is Prime. He knows what expectations are. What it feels like to have everyone think you're going to go out there and be successful no matter what the scenario is. It's really about the players.
Yeah.
But that's when coaching comes in.
Yep.
That's when reminding them of where they are. And look, I'm going to give these young men a little bit of credit. It's one game. Like, it was a tremendous game. Loved every second of it. They have arrived. They have validated that they belong in this conversation. But it is one game. It's a whole season, and there are bigger goals than just beating TCU. That was the first goal. The next one is coming up, and it's Nebraska. So I can't just assume just because these are young people that they don't understand the enormity of an entire season and what's expected of them.
James, something I'm very curious about, and again, I'm going to omit a lot of context because I wasn't there, but there might be a psychology I want the viewer to understand. You won a Super Bowl when you were 10-6. You went on the road and you won all of those games.
Yes, sir.
En route to winning a Super Bowl. Next year, you're 15-1.
Come on, man.
Like, next year, y'all are on top of the world, and then you lose, I think, in the first game. I don't say this for shade. I say this to say when your back was against the wall, y'all did everything and won.
Yeah.
Then when you all were the favorite, you now somehow lost instantly. Talk to me about the psychology. Obviously, you're professional, but talk to me about the psychology of back against the wall, 10-6 season, go all the way, win the Super Bowl, now the favorite, and get bounced in the game one, because there could be a psychology here Colorado's.
Well, I think it's exactly what Deion Sanders and them is dealing with right now, right? Deion Sanders, they was hunting, right? Nobody expected them to win that game but Shady. They was hunting. TCU probably was thinking how a lot of people thought, oh, we get 10-6 Green Bay on the road. They're a struggling football team. You know how that go, right? Preparing for them might change a little bit. But when you are hunting and you are that team, you know that I'm putting in this extra work. Yeah. I'm doing this extra work. We was 15-1, so we was like, man, we finna run up in here and beat everybody, right? But we realized early, and we got beat up, that we got everybody best shot too, right? Some of the we used to watch film like we finna beat up on this team. And then we get in the game and we like, who is this team?
They totally different.
Totally different, right? Just because now they know that we are the standard and they want to come out of that game like, if they the standard and we beat them or we hung with them, then we know what we can be. So that's what Prime is dealing with now. So you going into a Nebraska game to where they coming to hunt you now, right? You the test now, right? You the standard now. And that's different. You're going to get a different opponent. You didn't get that against TCU. Even though you won TCU, like, they rebuilding. That was just their mindset. Not saying they disrespecting Deion and them, but their mindset was, you rebuilding, we fresh out of the natty, we ready to go. Y'all got some time, and they got hit in the mouth.
As I look around, I think it's a little bit different, because they went out there and won the championship, and then they came back like a big dog. Well, I see a lot of people still not respecting Prime and them.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like people. Yeah,
I don't see it. I don't see it.
He laid back.
I feel like people are. They might say that, because they have to. Now, what can you say? But it's like, that's a fluke. TCU, they're not that good. I've seen so many people saying how TCU's not that good. I'm like, well, whoa, they was just nice. Now they not, because they lost to Colorado. Yeah. I don't know. I think if they have a good matchup like Oregon, and they lose, I swear everybody's gonna flood it. Yeah, I told y'all. So I don't think they're at that point where it's like, oh man, we're trying to hunt Colorado. I don't think they're there yet.
Yeah, they're ranked 22nd. They're not even considered the best team in the Pac-12.
No, not at all.
Not even the fourth best team.
You see what I'm saying? Like, they're not at the top dog yet.
They still have hunting to do.
But I do think to Jay's point is Colorado, in my mind, now they're going to get other people's best
Nobody's
shot.
going to ignore them again. No one's going to ignore them again. That's for sure.
Do y'all see this man behind you?
But you know what?
But that's what you want. What don't you want? Don't you want a competition?
Right.
Don't you want to go out there and compete against the best and give them your best? Like, being an underdog is fun. It is fun. It's nice to walk into a room and have everybody count you out. Hello.
It is
but,
nice.
and then you prove them wrong. But it is also great to walk in and be at the table and have something to say and be able to stand in your own and go toe for toe. So
if you win.
You're not going to win every game, and you're not going to lose every game. You have to be there to compete. But being respected is, to me, once you've proven that you belong there, is better than coming into every game being the underdog.
Yeah, but
it's Prime.
Isn't that what you're working for?
People want to. You think people don't want to beat on Prime?
That's what I'm saying.
It's not about the coaching. So let's say they weren't ranked 22. If TCU, whoever it is, Nebraska, they want to beat Coach Prime.
No doubt.
It ain't about the record.
Like, Shady, I'll give it to you like this. I remember in college, I would walk out at Texas, and I would always do this. I would look up. Because if I saw the line above me, and y'all might remember this, but in the league, it's always there. If you see the line above you, it's a sky cam. And if you see a sky cam, it's a national game.
Yeah.
As soon as I would walk on the field, I would always do this. Because I'm like, we playing on national TV or not? And if I see the sky cam, I'm like, oh, it's time to go. Nebraska's walking out on that field, big noon kickoff. It's going to be on Fox, and they're going to look up. And they're going to see the sky cam. And those players that might have been like, you know what, it's just little Colorado. Now it's like, oh, it's time to go.
And that's different. And that's different when you're getting people's best shot. That is different. People are preparing different for you. It is totally different. I've been there, right? I ain't seen people play so hard until they got on the field and played against us when we was 13-0. Oh, we gonna be the one to knock them off of the undefeated season? 14-0. It was different players. We like, man, y'all don't show this on tape. That's what's coming.
I want the best shot, personally, myself.
It happened, remember, to the Eagles last year. Eagles played the Texans, and we were like, these the Texans? Texans couldn't win a game. Eagles was undefeated, I think maybe 9-0 at the time, and it was like, yo, the Eagles going wire to wire with the Texans? And it was because, to some degree, when you was going against them undefeated Eagles, it was like, hey, we bring
And Joy, I agree with you. You want it. We just saying be prepared for it because it's coming. We want it, but just be ready for it. Yep.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.